Hello, my name is Steph Bartlett. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I share all things farm life, wellness and travel. And last night I just got back from Western Australia. I drove from Western Australia back home to the farm in South Australia, and I've just been in my veggie garden and my goodness have I picked a bit of produce. This is what I've picked just today. All these cherry tomatoes, also a capsicum, a heap of cucumbers. Crazy thing is, I've been away for 4 weeks and Mum's been picking loads of zucchinis and tomatoes whilst I've been away. And even before I left, I was picking loads of zucchinis. Trying to remember what else I was picking. Heaps of stuff anyway. It's still producing the goods weeks later. And a lot of people often ask me, Steph, how do you do your veggie garden? And they're intrigued to know more. So I thought, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity for me to show you how I get my veggie garden going from this, because I only do this seasonally, to this. I have got some footage right from the start when this was just full of weeds, and then I picked it all. We bought in sheep poo from the sheep yards, rotary hoed it in. It's a process and I'm going to show you now.
Burn a little brighter every day, swimming in the tide against the wind.
This is how the veggie garden started in the month of August. Well, actually, it's a little bit of a lie. It started by me asking my Uncle Paul, can you please cut the fence to my veggie garden because it was overgrown with weeds. And I thought, let's get the lawnmowers in, aka the sheep, and they can eat it all down for me. I thought that would save me a bit of work with the weeding. They actually did a really good job. I was happy with the outcome. Plus, there's a bit of sheep manure in there to add to the mix as well. I was ready to go. So time to put the gloves on. I thought I'd start with the raised garden beds first because that would just transform the garden straight away. I'm thinking maybe I can weed this one. Look, this is like a massive big weed. The sheep ate some of it while we had sheep in here. I've got to pull all this stuff out. But rosemary, far out. That is obviously like a weed. I neglected it and it's still grown. But it could definitely do with a bit of a trim. What do you reckon? I thought I'd start with a bit of inspo by heading into the local garden shop. It's also a cafe, Bushes and Beans, a little place in Bordertown. It's really cool. If you are in Bordertown or head through Bordertown, be sure to check it out. They even have gifts and books and stuff like that as well. I've been wanting to get out here for a few days. A few days ago, I bought some lettuce and baby spinach to make a start on my veggie garden, but it's been super windy. And I don't think the wind will be backing off anytime soon. Of course, it dies down just as I talk. That's a good thing. But anyway, I'm going to make a start. I am sick of buying leafy greens from the supermarket. Like, they're good, but they just don't last long. And you need to use them within a certain time frame and stuff. Whereas when you have them in your garden, there is nothing better than just walking out the door, picking some leafy greens, taking them inside for your salad or whatever it is you want to use them in, and they are so fresh. So I'm ready to plant my own and have them ready to go. So I made a start with trimming the rosemary with the old secateurs, and then I had a brainwave. I'm gonna go get the chainsaw. I have a little chainsaw, but it's the farm, so it's a little one, so I could use it because I don't like the big one. I reckon it'll be bloody perfect for a bit of rosemary trimming. Here's the chainsaws. This one I claim as my own, the Steph chainsaw. It's a little bad boy. Perfect for rosemary trimming is my thinking. Hopefully I don't need to use any rosemary anytime soon. Not much left on the bush. But as for how much I cut off, what do you do with this much rosemary? Smells good. Then it was time to pick a few weeds, get the soil right so I could plant some more little goodies in there.
The way you glow, you change your mind, you're free.
I had to go get a shovel because there was one very stubborn weed in one of the raised garden beds I just couldn't get out by hand, so here goes. And look, I'm the first to admit, I'm sure there was probably a safer and better way to get that weed out, but this managed to do the job finally in the end. I bought a few bags of potting mix to add to the soil. Now, I'm the first to admit I am no gardening expert, but I figured it couldn't hurt. And then from there, it was over to the tractor tire, which was full of mint from last year. Half of it had gone into seed and died, and then it was regrowing again. So I got rid of all the dead bits and added a bit of potting mix to it, and it was good to go. And then it was time for the fun bit. I love planting the seedlings. It's when it all starts coming to life. So I've got some baby spinach and some mixed lettuce, and I planted it in this old trough. This trough wasn't getting used in a paddock, so I asked if one of the fellas could get the tractor and bring it to my house for my garden, and it works perfectly. This right here is the finished product. So we've got the lettuce and spinach, we've got the tire full of mint that will grow, trust me, you'll see that soon. A little strawberry plant I found, I replanted that in this one here, and I added some other things, I can't remember what yet, we'll get to that. And then the rosemary bush, very heavily trimmed, and a little parsley plant that I also replanted from somewhere else. I planted the seedlings on the 1st of September, and this right here is the 10th of October. I was ready to pick the lettuce, use it for salads, whatever I wanted, and I just love it. Look how fresh and colourful. I mean, it doesn't get fresher than straight from the garden. Now that the raised garden beds are sorted, it's time to work on the big veggie patch. So I put the sprinkler on overnight to soften the soil. It makes it way easier to pull out the weeds the next day. So this is the next day. Turned off the sprinkler, and it was time to get a shovel and get to work. And yes, I need a shovel because there's some really big weeds in there that you have to dig out. I only plant a veggie garden once a year. Every spring is when I will put a garden in. So these stakes were in the garden from last year, the tomato plants I had. Time to pull them out and then start digging away. And let me tell you, this is quite the process. So many weeds. The sheep did help by eating it down. And then I had couch grass. No, this is buffalo grass. I had buffalo grass from my lawn and couch grass to dig out. And that stuff is like a weed, just spreads through the garden. But anyway, I got to work. I did not want to use chemicals. And if you don't want to use chemicals, I guess this is what you have to do. Or I have seen some people lay cardboard over their garden and do it that way, but I don't mind a bit of a workout. I kind of find it like a bit of a meditation too. Anyway, I got all the weeds out, and then it was time to get the rotary hoe. And I needed Dad to help with this because obviously it hasn't been used for a long time. It's a bit dusty and I have no idea how to get this thing going. So thanks, Dad. What are you doing?
Petrol.
All right.
Here it'll go. So
You put petrol on the spark plug.
Inside where it goes, because sometimes it takes a while to get the petrol there.
Stubborn thing. It didn't want to get going. Then I was like, look out, Dad. I'll get it going after he warmed it up a bit. Hold on. This one. First up though, this is how we do gardening in the country on a farm. We use the tractor. I wanted some sheep poo from the shearing shed, put that in my veggie garden, and then we'd use the rotary hoe to mix that in because apparently sheep poo is good for the soil. So I was like, righto. And I do it every year and it seems to work. So that was next up. You ready, boss? You ready to go? Let's go get some sheep poo. This is the shearing shed, and I'm pretty sure they use this loader to scrape out the yards that you can see behind the tractor there, and then they put it in a heap here. I normally get sheep poo from under the shearing shed, which is a bit more broken down than this stuff, and I think it did affect my veggie garden a little bit. The strawberries didn't grow as well, so I think there was a bit too much sheep poo, but it is a great addition to the garden in general. tight. Precision. Little ripper. If you heard that crack in the video, we had a little whoopsie. Well, the post did well whilst it was in one piece. At least we got some good dirt in here. To get the rotary hoe in the bucket of the loader. That's how we transport it. Take it up there to the house, veggie garden.
Will it go now? That's the question.
Dad helped me by doing the rotary hoeing, and whilst he did that, I was on the shovel shoveling that sheep poo across to other sections of the garden. The rotary hoe not only mixes in the sheep poo, it just digs up the soil, breaks it all up, softens it a bit as well. It did take a little while. Dad also gave me a go at that rotary hoe. I tell you what, you've got to bloody hold on for your life with that thing. I decided to leave that job to Dad. I was quite okay with that. Look at that soil, what an outcome. I am very happy with the outcome of the rotary hoe and the sheep poo we put in there. Put the sprinkler on it tonight and then get planting tomorrow, I reckon. Time to pick up the rotary hoe and take it back. It's been a solid day. Scruffy. That right there is some good looking soil. Really happy with that. Then it was time to put the sprinkler on and leave it on overnight to get that soil really damp and ready to plant the seedlings the next day. We're lucky at the farm we have really good bore water, perfect for the veggie garden. Fast forward to the next morning, time to get the sprinkler out, and next up is to rake all of the soil, because at the moment, you might remember where I am now, that's where the loader put all the sheep poo, so it was kind of quite raised there where the big heap of sheep poo was. So I wanted to level it all out a bit, use the rake, get it looking nice and level. Alrighty, I think I am done with the rake. I could still keep raking it, leveling it, but like, where do you draw the line, really? I think it's good enough for now. It's a bloody workout too, let me tell you. Oh, this soil looks so good. I'm really happy with how it's come up. Just pausing this for a sec, because if you look outside of the veggie garden at the dirt around it, you'll see it's that white non-wetting sand. That's why I'm so happy with my veggie garden soil. It's such a contrast to the sand or soil on the hill. Now to plant some little planties. Okay, so what goodies do we have in here? I have got some zucchinis. Zucchinis seem to do well. They didn't do well last year, actually, in saying that. The year before I had so many. And I've got some tomatoes and some basil. I planted basil a few weeks ago and then we had a big frost and it just wiped out my basil, so we'll try again. Honestly, there's just something so rewarding about planting and growing your own fruit and veg. You just can't beat it, and I love the process of watching it grow, literally seeing where your food comes from, and it just doesn't get fresher than homegrown. Down the side here, this is all my zucchini plants. I'm going to have an abundance of zucchinis. Well, I did. You'll see that soon. At the back, the tomato plants and basil plants as well, because they are companion plants. If you have basil and tomato plants together, apparently that's the way to go. And speaking of companion plants, well, I actually bought some flowers as well that are meant to attract the good bugs and get rid of the bad ones, something along those lines. So that is up next. I've never actually tried planting these before. I got some cosmos. Apparently that's a good one to grow. So I got 2 different colors of that. Oh, I also got some strawberries. Now I'm just gonna give you a spoiler alert now. They did not do well, and I think the sheep poo might have been a bit too strong for them. And then cucumbers, they went bananas. They grew well. I planted them as well. And I did get some marigolds, however you say it. No, that's a cherry tomato plant. Well, I did also get some other flowers. I used to buy bulk seedlings, like heaps of them all at once, and then I'd have to plant them all at once and it would take forever. So these days I kind of buy a few seedlings, plant them, then in a week or in a few days later, I'll buy some more and plant them. But first up, it was time to get the rake out, rake that soil, get it all level once again. And there was also a few rocks and stuff in there that I wanted to get out as well. Now that the plant babies are in, it's time to mulch them. We have some straw, some old bales of straw out in a paddock, so I'm gonna go get some, and it just helps to keep the soil moist and help the babies grow. Pine needles or straw, and I'm scared of snakes too. Not that straw. I need gloves. Yeah. I should have bought a bag actually. This is probably all going to blow off the back. I might need to get a bag. Buzz off, flies. Loading all this straw in here and just quietly thinking, maybe this doesn't all blow off when I drive back to the veggie garden. Get a bit more first. This actually looks hilarious. There's hardly any straw on the back of the ute, but it's a start. That's one load of the straw done. Starting to come together. We're gonna need a few more loads to cover all of that. Hey boss, you ready to get another load? You clearly don't want to be left behind. You're ready to go? Hey? She loves it. All right, and break off. It worked. Flies, man, far out. The straw, it's actually perfect. I've put some around my tomatoes and basil there, but I need to get a lot more. So that's what we're gonna go do. Pretty happy with that. Got the zucchini plants all up there. Tomatoes, basil, capsicums, strawberries, cucumbers, snow peas up the back, and some strawberries. Got some rockmelons here, some cosmos, and some wild tomato plants just self-seeded from last year. And I thought, who am I to pull them out? So we'll see how they go. Oh, and I put some pumpkins in here as well. Fast forward to December and the zucchini plants, my goodness, they had really taken off. You would be surprised how many zucchinis are produced from one zucchini plant. So here we go. This is a zucchini plant, and as you can see, lots of zucchinis. First zucchini for the season, and then we've got a lot more zucchinis on the way. Whilst this looks mainly like weeds, I do actually have some rockmelon plants here. There's 1, 2, 3, and then some self-seeded tomato plants that have popped up. I'm just going to let them grow and do their thing. And then fast forward a few weeks. I'm talking like 3 or 4 weeks, and it had grown this much. Lots of tomato plants growing, weeds, the whole lot really, which meant it was time to get the gardening gloves on and do some weeding. There were so many weeds, I decided to bring the wheelbarrow in, and then I could take all the weeds down to the chooks and they would have an absolute feast. The zucchini plants, my goodness, I had an oversupply of zucchinis. I could have been known as the zucchini lady in my local town. I would just take them into town and give them to anyone that would want them. Honestly though, it just blows my mind. The return you get on a zucchini plant, the amount of zucchinis it supplies you with is amazing. This morning's little harvest, a little cucumber. There's another one that I think I could probably pick as well. And then I've got 4 zucchinis. Once again, could probably pick some more, but I just don't need that many zucchinis right now. It's so satisfying picking fresh veggies, the best. I'm gonna go eat this little cucumber, see what it tastes like. Speaking of cucumbers, I actually had only 1 cucumber plant that didn't die, and this is it. It produced the goods, loads and loads of cucumbers. It's amazing once again how much produce you can get from just 1 plant. It is now March and I am back from my Western Australia trip, and as you can see, my veggie garden has still been growing whilst I've been away. Tomatoes galore. The zucchinis have come to an end. I did pick a zucchini a couple of days ago, but they're slowly starting to dwindle off now. Whilst I was away, Mum and Dad kept watering the veggie garden for me, which is so easy. We just pop 1 sprinkler on and that's sorted. Turn on a tap, turn it off. So as you may recall, I had an oversupply of zucchinis at one stage. Once the zucchini plant started slowing down a bit, all of a sudden the tomato plants took over. So many tomatoes, every day picking bowls of tomatoes. Honestly, for weeks and weeks and weeks, everywhere I'd look, there was just more cherry tomatoes. And just remember, these are all cherry tomato plants that self-seeded from last year. I can't believe I actually bought 1 cherry tomato seedling plant that I planted. I did not need to do that, and I will not do that next year because obviously an abundance of plants grow all by themselves. It is now around the 3rd week of April, and the plan for this video was to show you the grand reveal of how the veggie garden ended up. It's not how I expected it to look. It is out of control. It's like a jungle. I'm going to show you. This is certainly not a proud moment. As you can see, all my lawn has grown up around the raised garden beds. Weeds have taken over the veggie garden. Just with my travel, being away for a month, even though I did weed after that, and then within a matter of weeks, all these weeds had grown back. It's amazing what a bit of warm weather and rain can do. The veggie garden loves it, including the weeds. However, don't be fooled, and this is why I thought, nope, I'm going to show you this still, because even though there is so many weeds, there is also so much produce growing still. It's like finding where's Wally, where's the tomatoes? There's tomatoes everywhere through there. There is a big pumpkin plant that you can see has grown over the fence into this raised garden bed. There is actually a lot of stuff still growing. Remember how I was the zucchini lady at one stage, just had an oversupply of zucchinis? Well, now, like every day, I would pick a bowl of tomatoes like this, at least. And this has been going on for weeks, months even. Oversupply of tomatoes. I planted one cherry tomato plant. Didn't plant any tomatoes out there, but they're all tomato plants that self-seeded. The zucchini plants that were down the side, they're done. Oh, what? Didn't know that was there. I thought the zucchini plants were done. Down here we have the basil that I grew amongst the tomato plants, so it's gone into seed, but I still have been picking basil leaves. I have eggs on toast with chopped up tomato, basil, and a pinch of salt. It is delicious. You see this right here? This is celery that self-seeded from last year. Not very good at growing celery, like it hasn't grown, cut this off, very thick, and it's kind of like hollow inside. I have wondered if I like juicing celery, thinking I could possibly juice the leaves still. I'm not sure, does anyone know? But this has grown all by itself. I didn't plant it, it's just self-seeded from last year. So of the weeds. I've also seen that I have a stray beetroot that has grown here. I also like to juice beetroots as well. Might let that one get a little bit bigger. Oh, I can't believe how fast the weeds grow. It was only a couple of weeks ago that I weeded this and it was looking really good, and I'm a bit disappointed that this is the state. I'm showing you the garden now, but I guess it goes to show even if you let it run wild, you can still get amazing produce. As in bowls of tomatoes every day that I didn't even plant, they just grew themselves. It's pretty cool. I've just seen there's actually a little mini capsicum here. Look at that. Very cute. This is asparagus that has obviously gone into seed. I've never grown asparagus that I've actually ate. It always ends up like this. I might be doing something wrong with that. You may recall at the start when I was planting my veggie garden, I said I planted some marigolds. Here, they didn't do well at the start of the season, but now they're looking really good. And I have a few more of them over here amongst the weeds. Now that this is the end of the season, I'll keep picking tomatoes. Hopefully some pumpkins will grow from the pumpkin plants. I did pick a heap of rockmelons earlier on at the end of last year as well. But as for now, this is how my veggie garden will stay until September this year. And I'll probably get the sheep in again, eat it all down, bring some more sheep poo in, rotary hoe it. I did also want to mention, originally when I first set this up a few years ago, we also bought in some clay because the non-wetting sand, as you can see out there, I'm literally on a sand hill. You need to mix some clay into it. Don't know the technical reasons why. I'm guessing it helps hold moisture or get moisture into the soil. So this does have clay mixed in as well. But the contrast of the soil between here and up on that sand hill is pretty wild. I keep hearing a frog in here. This garden may look out of control, but it truly is wild, full of life, frogs, animals. Coco likes hunting in here. Weeds, tomatoes. Considering it's been very low maintenance because I've been traveling for a month, and then when I did get back, I was in Adelaide quite a bit. Considering I haven't done much to this garden, is pretty incredible the produce it has produced for me. Actually, sorry that I couldn't give you a beautiful look at the garden with it all finished, but hopefully you can see that you can grow a lot of produce even with low time and effort in the garden. I'd say the hardest bit is just getting started and then making sure that you water it enough as well. Like I say, very lucky with the bore water on the farm here. I'll just turn the tap on every night, leave the sprinkler on for a few hours, and that's all I really do to maintain it. Plus weeding, which you wouldn't know because it doesn't look like that at present, but I do normally weed it at the start as well. And I must say, if you've never made a veggie garden before and you want to make a start, you don't need a massive block like this. Even get some pots and plant some leafy greens. That's a really good way to start. You could even get a pot and plant a strawberry plant, grow some strawberries. Herbs are so easy to grow. Like, look at this. My mint tire has gone into seed again. You might remember at the start of the video, all I did was cut off and pull out all the dead bits of mint that had gone into seed and watered it, and it all grew back again. The rosemary bush has come back as well. Even putting the produce aside is just so good and healthy to have an outdoor activity like this to do. I recommend it. Anyhow, I'm going to go get another bowl because I've still got a lot more tomatoes to pick. A lovely lady in Keith said that if I give her some more tomatoes, she wants to make a batch of relish for me. So sweet. So I'm going to pick a few tomatoes, but thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something, or in fact, you may be able to teach me something about veggie gardens. Please feel free to give me any tips in the comments. I am all ears. If you haven't hit subscribe or liked this video, please be sure to do so. It helps me and my business and my YouTube channel so much. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, be wildly you and live life your way.
Burn a little brighter every day.